I've heard it said that a definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over again and over again and over again until working. So I would have to say that I personally am not a believer in violence ever solving a solution. As a teacher, and I work with families and young children, and one of the constant themes in my work is how do I get my kids to stop fighting with each other? And just to put that out as a model, the thing that I work with parents to do is you tend the victim first, because you're teaching your other children empathy and compassion. And I have had parents come back to me and say, it was really hard. It was really hard to do that when it would have been much easier to just let them fight it out and figure it out and beat each other up. The work that is demanded of us as human beings in this global community is hard work. The bombs, the guns, that's easy. We have them. Let's just use them. That's easy. The work that, and if violence is going to be the solution, then we're just going to keep getting that back. So, thank you.
Thanks. I'm Sylvia Hawken from West Hartford. I completely agree with what the last speaker said. I think that our history of affecting the kinds of regime change we intend to affect in the Middle East is completely lacking. And that if we really want to help people, the best thing we can do at this point is help people get out of there and support the refugee support mechanisms that are there in the neighboring countries. And that's, you know, that's some sacrifice of money and resources of ours too, but I think that that is a much better showing of good faith and trying to actually help people without some other agenda than anything else we could do. Also, given the number of people here and my difficulty in interpreting things from applause, I know there's more people in the hall and other rooms, but if you, I have a favor to ask of you, which is to lay out, you know, options you might think of being voted on and just have a show of hands for each of them in the room so you get a feeling of what we all think, because not everyone's talking.
Right. Well, listen, I think that's the purpose of this, is so that everybody gets an opportunity to express.
But you have someone who can actually count?
What?
I mean, I don't know how it'll come out, but you know, if you could have, like, raise your hand if you think we shouldn't go in, no matter if the United Nations can go on or not. Raise your hand if you think, you know, that we should go in, but only with UN.
I did graduate high school, so I can count.
Yeah.
But listen, why don't we let people?
Oh, because not everyone's going to speak, and there's probably 100 people here you're not going to hear anything from.
That's right.
Well, that's true, but how about we let the people that need to speak, and at the end, we go through that and summarize.
Sure, yeah, as long as you have a count at some point. I'm happy. Thank you.
Hi, Larry Hanson from East Windsor. I think people have been referring to war here, and I don't think we're starting any war. There's been a war in Syria for 2 years now, and there are wars in the Middle East that are not being started if some action is taken by our government in Syria. The clause of the Constitution that talks about the Congress's power to declare war is immediately preceded by a clause which says that Congress has the power to define and punish, among other things, acts against the law of nations. And however you want to define that or apply that, whether you use it only as the courts or not, I think is debatable legally. But I think it is a power that was recognized by the founders of our country, and it should be exercised where appropriate. It is a power that is given to parents in raising their children. It is a power that is given to supervisors in overseeing their employees. It is a power that I had as a police officer for 30 years and as a police supervisor for 18 years. I know there are circumstances, there are cases when I cannot just walk away and say somebody else will take care of this. I think this may be a situation where we have to do something to take care of it.